welcome back to PSA TV. This is the Wake Up Call. Joining me on set, he is what I call a living success story. Of course, he is the author of From Behind the Bridge to the Impossible Dream. And literally, it is the impossible dream. Good morning to you, Mr. Akini Gill. How are you this morning?
I'm good. Good morning to you and to all your viewers in Trinidad and Tobago and all over the world.
How are you this morning?
I'm very good.
A typical early morning or not the average early morning?
Average early morning.
Right. So I don't feel bad for waking you up this morning. So, from behind the bridge to the impossible dream. Your story is one that has touched the lives of many people. Because oftentimes, as long as someone tells a child they can't read, it resonates within them and it stays. But you're someone who has been determined, continues to be determined, and you fought on and on until you're here. You're now the holder of a master's degree and you're a teacher.
Yes.
Tell me a bit about who exactly is Akini Gill.
Akini Gill grew up in Laventille,
Yeah.
East River, and he had challenges from very early, as young as 3 years old. I can recall my mom telling me that I was able to do the basic things a 3-year-old or 4-year-old will do. I entered into preschool and I was not operating as a typically developed 5-year-old in preschool. So I changed to another preschool because of the complaints of the teacher at that time. There were similar complaints at the second preschool. However, I think that the teacher was more accommodating and more patient. I attended Excalibur Anglican Primary School in Gonzales, and there, complaints about me not being able to speak properly, write, understand basic concepts. So the complaints continue in the primary school.
Yeah.
But my mom always used to tell the teachers, some of them, that I can learn.
Yeah.
So she will come almost every day and get the work. And so she thought it was a school, and she changed me, and I went to Western Boys Primary School, which is now known as Sacred Heart Boys Primary School on Richmond Street. And I entered there in Standard 4. Again, similar complaints. So she realized that she have to accept the fact that something is definitely wrong. And she got on to Mr. Scratch and Ketchel, who is presently the chairman of the Dyslexic Association, and who has played a very significant role in my life, Mr. Scratch. And we went to Moncton, I got evaluated by a psychologist, and the report was similar to things that some teachers were saying.
Yeah.
And then I began to take speech therapy. I went to Issues Learning Center, which is a school for special learners, located in Woodbrook on Arbit Avenue. So I spent 2 years there, and there was a bit of a turnaround, a bit of improvement, but the challenges of not speaking, writing, to understand basic concepts, that was still there. So it was a lot of hard work and determination and belief. So I went back into the secondary school system.
And how old were you then?
When I was at Issues?
Yeah.
Well, after command entrance, so I was about 11. So I spent 2 years there. So I left Issues at about probably 14.
Okay.
And I did not go into Form 1 because of my age.
Yeah.
I went straight into Form 2, which was another setback. So I attended Belmont Boys Secondary, which is now known as St. Francis Boys College in Belmont. And there I refer to high school as really, really challenging because now you have teachers who say the notes, and you have to write fast.
And apart from that, you have, bullying, because
Well, yeah, so a couple of
students
my peers used to tease me.
yeah, because they're teenagers and you're
Yes,
supposed to
yes,
keep up
and
with them,
it's-
and
and
because
they're
you're different,
boys, so
and
boys
obviously boys are,
Yes.
boys are boys, and if you're a bit different, you're always shunned upon.
Yes, which is true, and which is a matter of public education, and is a matter of letting people know that there are people who gonna be like having learning challenges. So
Yeah.
I do have two learning challenges: dyslexia, which is a reading disorder,
Yeah.
and dyspraxia, which has to do with motor skills, hand coordination. So I had a desire to learn the steel band,
Yes.
but I only got to learn it after about some years because my hands were bent. My hands was not ready to hold the band. So I shake shaksha and tambourine and tabla
Yeah.
for years before eventually I get on the pan. So,
And do you
before
play- you
eventually
play
I
now,
go,
right?
yes, well of course I play now. I haven't improved compared to 10, 13 years ago. So that was really a challenging because when I started to play the pan, I hit in the groove,
Yeah.
not in the middle of the rolling, the wrist movement. It just wasn't there. It took me about 7 years to really hold it properly and start to do the technique properly. So, but learning challenges affect each individual or can affect each individual differently.
Yeah.
There are different challenges with different persons.
And it's how you overcame them. I know you've credited your mom a lot. Your mom has basically been the rock of your life.
Yes, well, the book is dedicated to her, Elizabeth Ann Sinclair. Yes, she has been my greatest resource. She has been my role model, my hero. She led the way, and she had belief
Yeah.
that, I can make it, and eventually I believe it too.
Were there times that you probably felt, like this was too much pressure on you for you to learn, for you to do everything because society wants you to be a certain way?
Well, yes, there were times I did not feel to go back to school because I felt unwelcome. Many days I left
Yeah.
without all my notes, and not because I was misbehaving or gambling or fighting. It's just because that I could not keep up.
Yeah.
My writing speed was below 2%. So I was writing not only inappropriately, but I was writing very slow too.
Yeah. And you overcame those things at what age?
Well, looking back, it's incredible to me because there's a gap that I cover that is a short period. I don't know how it took place. There's a gap that I really accelerated, probably a 2 year or 3 year gap.
Wow.
I really pick up momentum that is really incredible. When I look back, it's just everything started to come together, in that space of time.
Have you ever seen the teacher who, would have said that you couldn't learn or you couldn't write or?
Yeah, I see them, but they do not admit that they say that.
Of course.
And
of
I
course.
don't think it's necessary to engage in that, but I know they said it, and
Yeah, yeah.
and it was
Sometimes I
not
think
professional.
that sometimes not just teachers, but people think that children in particular, they don't remember stuff, so they tend to tell you everything, anything. But the minds of young people in particular, it's so tender that whatever you do, whatever you say, at some point it's gonna stick there.
Yeah.
And it's now how you deal with it. And I think you've done a great job.
And as a society, we use the word lazy very, very often. And so, in my view, we use it inappropriately,
Yeah.
out of context, because we have been called lazy while growing up, and at the time we did not appreciate it.
Yeah.
And we have proved that we were not lazy, but we have joined by calling others lazy. Now, I am not pretending that they are not lazy people.
We have lazy.
Of course, they
Yeah,
are.
yeah.
But they are in the minority.
Yeah.
But we use it so loosely,
Loosely.
and we were offended when some of us were called lazy, but
Yeah.
now we call others lazy. But I think we don't scrutinize the facts of the individual.
Yeah.
We just make bold
Generalizations.
statements. And some people believe, some people may can tell me, well, you make it, he can make it, she can make it.
Yeah.
But
We have that. It's
that-
it's a comparative. Everything we say, we compare it to somebody.
Yeah.
Because you did that, I should now do that.
yeah, but we have to understand that the education system is not up to par.
And I
to
was
help
now going to
students.
ask you that because, coming out of a regular school system, you had to go to, Ishis. I know those are, is it private schools?
Well, Issues in the center was
Right.
private school.
So
at the
I
time.
would imagine it was very costly for your mom at that time.
Yes, but we sourced and we got sponsorship to pay the fees at the time. Yes, and that's a good point you bring up. Having a child with learning challenges is very costly because
Yeah.
you need speech therapy, psychologist report, private school, so it's a lot of money. I was fortunate that I met the right people
Yeah.
at the right time along the way who contributed their time and volunteered their services
Yeah.
to me and who in a way or replace what the system is supposed to provide. Now, some people say we keep on blaming the system, but the system have to come up to par because the needs are many, and private citizens cannot fill those needs all the time.
Yeah. When you look at the entire education system itself, do you think that it really caters for people with special needs?
There are good things going on here and there, but in the main, no, we are way behind.
What would you like to see personally?
I would like to see that every education district have every specialist they need
Okay.
so that they can go out in the schools and very early and test the children's eyes, their
Yeah.
ears. Early intervention is very important. I got intervention around at age 11,
Yeah.
10, 11, that's
Pretty late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you get flag students from 5, 6, you can put things in place. And we need laws that will reflect what takes place in the classroom for students with learning disabilities.
Yeah.
So the specialists, the laws,
Yeah.
those two things are very important to set that foundation for us to really be up to par. For students with learning disabilities to have a chance
Yeah.
to reach their fullest academic potential.
Now, you've been blessed to be, surrounded by your mom, a lot of people who would have supported you. But for the average person who's probably looking at us this morning and, they may not be so lucky, what is your advice to them?
My motto is giving up is not an option. So I will advise them that have faith.
Yeah.
And faith is something that you do not see, but you know it is there for those who believe in it. So I will, giving up is not an option. Have faith. Keep looking for opportunities. Keep looking for avenues to get the assistance. But I know it's difficult because honestly, if I was in high school in 2019, I don't think I would have gotten that sort of...
It's a different age we're looking in.
a different time. I don't think my mom and I would have approached the people, the journalist people that we met along the way. Because the book have a chapter which is entitled "It Takes More Than a Village,"
Yeah.
and it identifies all the persons who contributed during my journey.
So apart from your mom, who played a keen role in your life and making you who you are today?
My mom, Elizabeth Ann Sinclair, Mrs. Catherine Kenshaw. She's presently the chairman of the Dyslexic Association. She was the one at the turning point who really turned helped me to turn around that corner and head on the right path. A very vital role. Organization, Trinity All Generation School of the Arts, TAGS. There where I learned music, started to actually learn the music theory and the practical. But before that, my dad, the late Steve Anthony Gill, he took me to Desperados Spaniard from the age of 5, 6.
So that's where your love for pan.
That's where the love for the pan come before I entered.
So let me ask you, what is the first thing you played on the pan when you actually learned to play?
Well, we learn how to roll.
Right.
Or a scale.
Right.
And it was like, I can't remember, but probably Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Started very basic.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yes, when my dad took me to Desperados and here in the pan, that have, really inspired me to look at a career in music. But I did try cricket.
You tried cricket?
I tried football. I liked joining, making calls, but I guess music grabbed onto me.
Right. So how did that work out?
How then?
Your love for music.
Well, I learned music at TABS, as I said, and it has worked out very good. I think the learning of music has brought out the intelligence. And that's another point that I want to make with learning challenges. Nothing is wrong with a person's brain.
Yeah.
It just means that the person have to learn differently, and they will need different learning methods and strategies. Nothing is wrong with the person's brain, because some people have the view that something has to be. Well, first of all, again, you have to look a particular way.
Yeah.
And then they believe that for you to have challenges, they should be able to outsmart you.
Yeah.
You should be, I don't want to say the word, but
I know what you mean.
so they should be able to outsmart you, and if they cannot do that, well then nothing is wrong with you.
Yeah.
There are those who have that thinking and that attitude towards people who do have.
Did you run into any unfortunate circumstances like that?
Of course, people who have told me, I pay psychologists to say I have challenges and nothing is wrong with me, and playing nice low. There's a lot of people over the years who have expressed those comments.
Yeah.
But
did it faze you at all?
At the time, but I got accustomed to it and I predict it, and I laugh at them because I'm so accustomed of it. Because it is also expected that there's a culture also that students with learning challenges cannot learn, and some people may feel it's a waste of resources and taxpayers' money to spend on students who have these challenges. Because it is expected that they cannot write a book, they cannot obtain a master's.
You've proven them wrong at every instance.
Well, yes, and they need to change their thinking so we can have more like me, or even students who have the potential to do much more than I have done so far.
So how has music been for you? Because you've loved music since you were 5. So you're now a teacher. What do you teach?
Well, I lecture. I'm an instructor to music education and the Center for Education Programs, UTT. formerly known as Valsing Teachers Training College.
Right.
So I lecture music courses there, and I also lecture practicum. I teach students, future primary school teachers, how to write lesson plans and schema work and those things. So I'm more into the teaching aspect of music, but I love Panama and Desperados. I'm a diehard supporter of that steamer. Yes, I love to listen band. I have arranged along the way one or two pieces composed, but I'm more into the teaching aspect of music. Well, music education.
Yeah. So we've been chatting here this morning with Mr. Akini Gill. He is the author from Behind the Bridge to the Impossible Dream. We're going to toss to a really short break, and when we come back, we'll continue our discussion here on PSA TV. Stay with us.
A very good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago.
Welcome to PSA News.
Christy Callie Singh.
I'm your host, Avalon Williams. And
News.
we begin with news that...
Let them do what they have to do. We will do what we have to do.
Labor News.
In the top story today, PSA President Watson Duke is warning Finance Minister...
The lives of the employees.
Folks, are we happy?
Get breaking news, reports, and analysis of labor from a source you can trust.
This is the Wake Up Call segment.
Live from Port of Spain.
Of the budget, everything.
Right now we want help from anybody.
We are second by second, right where your world unfolds. Behind every headline, right on time. We are live from every angle. If it matters to you, it matters to us. We are PSA TV. On air, online, any device, anytime.
And welcome back to PSA TV. This is the Wake Up Call. On set, I've got with me the author of From Behind the Bridge to the Impossible Dream, or literally speaking, the impossible dream. Someone who has been laughed at from a very tender age because of certain learning challenges. And you know, oftentimes we in society, we tend to see people and we may not know exactly what they're going through. And we just make these snide comments. But to a child, it somehow it resonates. And it's up to the child to know now, well, do I take this and let it stay with me? Or do you do like Mr. Gill and overcome your challenges? And we were talking about music. Your love for music has now led you to be a lecturer of music education at UTT?
Yes.
So if not Pan, what would it be?
If not pan,
Yeah.
well, I play a little bit of piano.
Okay,
I have played a little bit of piano, but I love the pan.
Yeah.
Pan 1, 2, 3.
And whatever happened to this love for cricket and football? Do you play?
No, I do not play that. That love has faded away, has gone away, but I watch.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about your book launch. I know your book launch was last 2 weeks?
2 weeks ago, yes,
Yeah.
on the 9th, on the 11th of July.
Yeah, I know we have some images coming out of that book launch there. Of course, the book is entitled From Behind the Bridge
From Behind the
to
Bridge.
the Impossible Dream, a journey with determination and discipline, all things are possible. The story of a boy with learning challenges, with determination and discipline. Those are two things that you embodied from a very young age. Do you think that it's something that society is lacking?
Yes, I think that society is lacking more discipline and the determination,
Yeah.
but both of them. And we underestimate how those tools are very powerful
Very.
because I was not an average student or a student who did well
Yeah.
in terms of maths, but I had those both things, determination and discipline, and have really worked wonders.
Of
you
course
know.
it has. Look at you're here today.
Yes, no. I always do the homework, I'm always trying. So those are two examples that represent those two words. But how do we get society to have those two aspects? I think you have to find ways to change the thinking.
Yeah.
We need cultural change in schools, in every community. We need to change the thinking of people to really understand the
Yeah,
importance
it's a more
of-
open-mindedness that we need.
Yeah.
Because as we look at anybody with any challenge as, part of society.
And some people look at the challenges as someone who's probably in a wheelchair or who's using crutches
Yeah.
or who's visually impaired. Now, those are different persons who are differently able. However, those aspects of them become learning challenges when they enter into the classroom.
Yeah.
For example, someone in a wheelchair, the door to enter into the classroom need to be wide enough. And you need to designate a space. So that is a learning challenge. Nothing is wrong with the person's brain. The person who is visually impaired or who is completely blind will need the materials in Braille to learn. So someone who is visually impaired do have a learning disability because they need an adaptive strategy, an adaptive method for them to be able to learn. Nothing is wrong with them, nothing is wrong with their brain. It's just you have to use different strategies for them to be able to learn. So you don't tell them what you are visually impaired, you cannot learn. So you have challenges, you cannot speak properly, you cannot write, you cannot walk properly, so you cannot learn. We need that well, probably you don't know how to teach that person.
Yeah,
For
perhaps
them to be able
others.
to learn.
Yeah,
So you need to get to find out how to teach someone like that.
And
Because
even-
everybody can learn.
And even if you look at the workplace, did you think that you were going to be a lecturer at any point? Because again, like we were talking about it, when you have a learning challenge, society often looks at you, well, all right, I can't learn anything from you, that is how it is. And jobs, how difficult it is to get a job.
Well, I did not experience any difficulty because of my challenges to get a job. But I remember once I was on the OJT program and for the interview and I wrote the section.
Yeah.
And one of the person in charge called me and asked me what that means. And I explained, it means that I'm a slow learner and everything. And the person actually started to unpack the desk and telling me I will take a longer time to pack their desk. So the point I'm trying to make, some people in our labor force who are part of HR or who are part of going through applicant. First to begin, it's not there to ask you if you have any learning challenges. So that's the first thing first. And well, I reached a point where I did not even use to mention it because I can predict the response. But as I said, I never experienced any challenges besides that instant for jobs, or to say that I was turned down an offer because of my challenges. Now, my challenges, or no one challenges, learning challenges, are there for an excuse. So even though I work at UDT, I apply, I went through the process like any other individual. I have to perform the duties as any other individual. I cannot say, well, I have challenges, I can't do this.
Yeah.
No, I can't. So I have to get the job done in a professional manner, like anybody else who may not have learning challenges. But it's always there. My learning challenges will not go away. It have improved tremendously. There's no cure for your challenge, but I have improved my handwriting, my articulation, my rolling on the palm, my playing.
Yeah.
I have improved a lot.
I'm very proud of you. In terms of your relation between your students, how is that?
Very good. I have a very good relationship with my students.
I'd imagine now that you would have a better connection with students, seeing that you went through a tough time with.
Yes, well, during my lectures, I do a brief session on special music education.
Yeah.
Because my thesis at New York University, when I did my Master of Arts in Music Education, my thesis was entitled Teaching Music to Students with Learning Disabilities in Trinidad. So how do you teach students who have who's dyslexic, dyspraxia, visually impaired, cognitive challenges, or autistic trend? How do you actually teach them the music content?
Yeah.
So with my students in school, when I do that lecture, I also give them parts of my story. So they are inspired and they are encouraged to work harder and get their work done.
All right, so I'm going to ask you to stick a pin there. It's just about news time. So we're going to head to news right now, and when we come back, we'll continue our discussion here on PSA TV. Stay with us. And welcome back to PSA TV. This is the Wake Up Call here. On set, I've got with me Mr. Akini Gill. He is the author of From Behind the Bridge to the Impossible Dream. If I could just ask you, first of all, how long did it take to write this book?
Took about 4 years to write it. There were a bit of 1 or 2 breaks.
Yeah.
Took about 4 years. A lot of work, a lot of time to write and rewrite and take out and adjust and which piece should go here and which piece should go there and which chapter should come to. A lot of thinking and structure.
Or what made you write, first of all?
Along the way, 1 or 2 people, suggested that I should document my journey.
Yeah.
However, I did not think I had achieved as how I would have wanted to. So I keep on pushing it back until I decided after my master's and another factor was when I returned in 2013 from NYU, I was having a bit of difficulty after a year. I had a bit of difficulty getting a job. So I was home.
Yeah.
So I really got that time to start to write.
Yeah. So what is your favorite chapter or in the book?
The entire book is my favorite. It's really hard.
Well, okay, so which one you spend the most time in writing?
Well, probably parts in the middle, but
Okay,
looking
so
forward
looking forward, right.
is a good thing. So I'll read parts. So chapter 13, looking forward. Certainly, I am looking forward to writing the second edition of this book, From Behind the Bridge to the Impossible Dream. This should be in the next 20 years, and I suspect readers will be waiting with great anticipation. I am actually looking forward to doing my PhD studies in special education. Most likely, I will do this study overseas. In the future, I see myself as one of the best professionals for teaching music to students with learning disabilities. I look forward to playing a more important role in the lives of students with learning difficulties. I will advocate for the resources they need to reach their fullest academic potential, and I will look for opportunities to teach them the actual music content using those magical adaptive teaching strategies that have been so helpful to me. It is hoped, however, that the negative attitudes of Trinidad and Tobago public towards those with learning disabilities would have changed. If that change has been realized, they would accept that these children can, in fact, learn if given the suitable resources to accommodate their specific challenges in our classrooms. In addition, I am looking forward to seeing constant reminders to provide relevant information to the public, even inviting the public to participate in some of the activities of those who are challenged. They will have a clear understanding of learning disabilities. I will continue to tell my story to various audiences, which will certainly ensure that I play a role in this very important public education activity.
Very, very strong and powerful words there. I love that part where you mentioned the negative, that line.
Negative attitudes
of Trinidad and Tobago towards those with learning
disabilities would have. I hope that it changed.
Yeah, and I mean we were talking about that. You know, it sometimes makes me wonder. You know, what have we as a society reached to? You know, because someone isn't learning the same way like you automatically laugh at them.
That has been wrong for a lot of years. It has been wrong for a lot of years. But how do we get it to change?
Yeah.
And it needs to change because not everybody can be told those things and they would get over it or still strive or still be successful like me.
Yeah.
We cannot assume, we grow up,
not everyone is as
the attitude. You know, everybody hear that, go wrong with you, you gotta be tough. Not everyone like that. So the safer and the better way is that if we can minimize it and eventually stop it completely.
Yeah. And for those of you who are watching, just tell us where we can get this book and the price.
Yes, you can. Copies of this book, you can get it at any RIK bookstore. Okay. The price for it at RIK is $140. Okay. You can also get it at any Sharon's bookstore. I am not sure of the price there. Anyone who, you can follow me on Instagram at Akini Gill 1986. You can email me at akinigill@yahoo.com, AKINIGILL@yahoo.com, or contact me at 705-3380, 705-3380. So I want to thank you very much for this opportunity. Thank you to you, the management, your viewers, all over the world and in Trinidad and Tobago. Yes. It was a pleasure.
Yes, thank you for coming on this morning. But before you go, do you have any plans to write any more books anytime soon?
Not anytime soon, but you never know. I may get up in the morning and start.
All right, thank you so much, Akini, for coming in this morning. I learned so much from you, and I'm sure all our viewers are very enthused. I hope that, you know, we all look at children or people with learning disabilities as not as something bad and not in a negative manner, and that we all take positives from every situation and overcome our challenges, because we have to face them at some point, you know, but it's how you do it. And just, if you want to see more of his story, be sure to buy the book. So thank you so much for coming on this morning.
Okay, you're welcome.
All right. So it's on that note, we're going to toss to a really short break and come back with more. Stay with us.